Alright, so these ones are about my dad. For context, my father is like if Ron Swanson was punk rock. My father has been married 2 times. However, he only considers one a marriage and he refers to the second one as an alien abduction. One time, this is before my transition, after I had my son, I had to move back home. The relationship I got out of was very, very toxic. And so my father sat me down and he started telling me the story, which I thought was going to be very inspirational. He was like, I knew a girl once. She got knocked up by this dude who was just awful, and she had to move back home with her parents, and both of them dropped dead. Then he just stopped talking. And I'm like, Dad, then what happened? And he says, guess she got a job. So, very inspirational. One time we were out, we found a cockroach, and I was like, Dad, I really think that this is a roach because it has hairy legs. And he said, how do you know that? Maybe he's just Italian. So, one time I was on a health kick. We were in Walmart, and I said, hey, I just need to figure out where the goat cheese is. And he said, MJ, probably in the pet food section. Another time a while back, my dad was getting sick of being pulled over by the cops. So instead of being like a responsible civilian, he noticed that there was like an influx of these let go and let God bumper stickers. So he got one, thinking it was some like religious cult type thing. And maybe if they thought he was like part of this religious sect, which he is very religious, but we're Irish Catholic, that like maybe they'd start pulling him over. And then he realized that the place these bumper stickers were coming from was a local AA meeting. So it didn't go well. One time we were getting Chinese. I asked him if he liked Peking duck, and he said no. And I was really excited because if you didn't know, I love ducks. I love all birds, but especially ducks. So I was like, oh my God, like finally someone in my family with like ethical substance like me who won't eat ducks. But then he said, no, I don't eat nuts. He thought it meant pecan nuts. One time I went over to my dad's apartment. I said, hey, how you doing? And he said, I'm okay, but I got really bad roid rage. And I was like, you're on steroids? And he was like, oh no, my hemorrhoids are acting up. And lastly, one day my dad was trying to describe to me how jacked this dude was. And he was like, MJ, this guy was so jacked that I bet he had muscles in his poop. So...